You're all set, Chairperson.
This meeting is taking place entirely by teleconference via Zoom. The public is accessing this meeting via the Santa Ana YouTube channel or the city's website. The commission members and I, along with the recording secretary and city staffs, are in different locations. Please bear with us as the technology may disrupt the flow of the meeting. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the October 5th, 2022 Youth Commission meeting to order at 4:34. Will the recording secretary please call roll?
Thank you, Chairperson. Commissioner Cabrera,
Present.
Commissioner Nguyen,
Present.
Commissioner Sarmiento,
Present.
Commissioner Tucker, Vice Chairperson Weezer, I thought I'd seen Vice Chairperson Weezer earlier. She's coming in, I see her. And Chairperson Berdine.
Present.
You have a quorum, Chairperson.
All right. Will everyone please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next on the agenda is presentations. I'll turn this over to Library Executive Director Brian Sternberg for the staff report.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and members of the commission. Hello. Thank you for having me today. I just want to provide you with a few updates, some exciting things here at the library. First off, the library has just received a $9.329 million grant from the state of California. This is called the Building Forward Grant. And this will go a long way to help us complete our renovation and restoration of our main library, which was built in the late 50s and opened up in early 1960. So this money from this Building Forward Grant is meant to address critical infrastructure, life safety, building maintenance, and mechanical issues. So we have a number of systems that we'll be upgrading here at the library, including our HVAC, our fire sprinkling systems, plumbing systems, electrical systems, and these dollars can all go towards that. So that is a huge portion of our overall budget to restore and renovate our main library. We received our award letter a couple of weeks ago, and we will be bringing this to council to add these funds to our current fiscal year. So we are really excited for this grant, and this is a big step forward in making Santa Ana's main flagship library one of the standouts, not only in Orange County, but in the entire state of California. So really exciting news for us. I also want to encourage members of the commission to stop by our library, either our New Hope Public Library or our main public library, and consider getting one of our redesigned library cards. We got some really neat designs that are out there. We have one especially for kids that have little fun critters on there. They're like little book monsters. We have one that is a picture of our Play and Learn children's patio as the front of the library card. And all these library cards also have, if you still have an old one, these library cards have the keychain library card as well. So you have your card and then you can keep one on your keychain. So then we have a picture of the Play and Learn patio. Then we also have one that's just the looks at the front of our main library, the north facing front of the library, and that is another, more classic picture of the Santa Ana Public Library. So we encourage you to all come in and pick one of those up. And we do have some Baby Yoda library cards as well, if you're interested in those. This is through a special arrangement with the California State Library. So we do have, like the rights and things like that to these images. So we do have a Baby Yoda library card as well. So please stop in, members of the commission, feel free to pick one of those library cards up. And then finally, we're excited to share that our Play and Learn patio recently got brand new shade structures. When we first opened it up a number of months back, we realized quickly that, it got, even though the play structure itself is shaded, we have some seating areas around there. We realized that it can be hot in those areas, especially during the summertime, when the sun is, beating down during the middle of the day and kids and families might want to be out there playing. So we added 2 large shade structures that provide a lot of canopy cover for the area. So we're excited to get those in and, welcome back. We were closed for a few days while they were doing the work, but we're excited to welcome our families and the community back into that space to play and learn once again. And of course, take a look at our program calendar. It's online, it's in the library. We have lots and lots of programs, STEAM programs, programs for teens and high school students. We got story times. We have many, many things. We have financial literacy classes going on this month. There are so many things that are happening at the library. Follow us on our social media. We are very active on social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can take a look and see what goes on every single week at our Maine and New Hope Library. And, please, join us at any one of our programs. We have many every single month at both locations. So with that, I'll take any questions that the commission might have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sternberg. I wanted to ask, if we already have a library card, could we trade it in for a new design?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay, awesome.
You can trade it.
I'll stop by one of these days after school then. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'll leave the floor open for any other commissioners if they have any questions, comments, or concerns.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for having me. And I will be here for the remainder of the meeting if any questions do come up. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Mr. Sternberg. Always very much appreciated. Okay, next on the agenda is a time for public comments. Recording secretary, does anyone wish to speak?
Thank you, Chairperson Berdine. I would just like to remind everyone that if you are on the the Zoom room right now, and if you would like to make a comment, please use the raise hand feature at the bottom of the Zoom. At this point in time, Chairperson Berdine, I do not see any public comments.
Okay, sounds good. Also, Vice Chair Weezer wanted me to say that she is cutting out, like her Wi-Fi is cutting out. So in case we ask her something, she might not be able to respond. Okay. Next on the agenda is consent calendar. Item 1 and number 2 are the minutes of the regular meeting of September 7, 2022 and excused absences. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the September 7, 2022 regular meeting and excused absences?
I'll start the motion.
I second.
Okay, do we need to take a roll call?
Yes, Chairperson. Commissioner Cabrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Nguyen,
Yes.
Commissioner Sarmiento,
Yes.
Commissioner Weezer,
Yes, sorry, my computer's like acting up. It's like unmuting me. So I
thank
didn't
you for
realize
that.
that.
Thank you for letting us know, Commissioner Weezer, and Commissioner Berdine.
Yes.
Duly noted.
Okay, that is the end of the consent calendar. Moving on to the business calendar, today we have one item listed on the agenda. I will turn this over to Recreation and Community Services Manager Tim Pagano for item 3, which is the walkability audit follow-up.
Chairperson Berdine, Manager Pagano is not able to join us this evening. However, I'll make the presentation. I'll go ahead and turn this over to Megan Beard to do the walkability audit update. Ms. Beard, it's all yours.
Great, thank you so much. Can I get screen sharing capabilities so that I could advance the slides?
Yes, ma'am, we'll go ahead and give you that. Go ahead, Mr. Uribe.
All right, fantastic. Let's see.
And I believe Mr. Hiram is giving you his viewing capability. Is that okay? He can also control it or both, okay?
Okay, this is can you guys see, do you guys see Madison Park Neighborhood Walkability Audit, the slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay, fantastic. So the purpose of our portion of this meeting tonight is to walk through the neighborhood walkability audit that was conducted on August 3rd. Just a quick show of hands using the raise your hand feature. How many of you were present at that walk audit and are here tonight? I just want to kind of get a feel for how much review, how much review we do versus how much we just drill down on the next step. So were any of the commissioners that are here tonight? I see, oh, great. So Mia, you were there, Alessandra. Okay, fantastic. Thank you guys. So I'm still gonna just briefly review for those of you who were at the walkability audit. So the purpose of that field visit was to sort of assess the walkability of the Madison Park neighborhood. So we met at the elementary school and broke into groups, 2 groups. I can show you guys those routes in just a moment. Here's the group. So you might see some of your faces here. So these were the walking routes that were decided upon that day. If you're not familiar with the area, they both initiated at Madison Elementary School. One went towards the park and then the other one went down Stand. So the goal was to take photographs and take notes about all the things that made it either difficult, unpleasant, or unsafe to walk the streets surrounding the elementary school and the park. So Safe Routes to School it's really just a program that's designed to make walking inviting, make it safe. Obviously, there's a lot of elementary school age students that walk in this neighborhood with the elementary and the park right there. So we borrowed your lens and asked you guys to sort of identify those that made it either hard or unsafe for you to walk or bike to and from the school. So tonight, what we're going to do is quickly go over everything that was collected during that observation, make sure that note correctly. For those of you who were there and on those routes, please feel free to unmute yourself if you come across a slide where something's like not right, or if you have any comments. And then we're going to talk about next steps in this project. So one of the first main stories that we focused on were sidewalks. So this is the format of the entire presentation. There's the larger categories of the bigger issues, and then photographs with addresses. So here we were documenting there was damaged cement, again, or damaged cement. There was some exposed wire. You can see at Halliday that middle photo. It looks like there used to be a pole there that has been removed, and there's exposed wire there. This was a big lift in the sidewalk, which you guys, for obvious reasons, can see why that's a trip hazard for either walkers who aren't picking up their feet enough, for wheeled objects like skateboards, scooters, uneven asphalt patches. So there was a lot of this throughout the neighborhood. A non-compliant curb ramp. Seems is that it doesn't fit the ADA guidelines, so it's not wheelchair friendly, it's not wheeled object friendly. But Zed, who works in your works department, went ahead and let us know that this is already in their master plan to address this, but we went ahead and photographed the issue anyways. The next big topic area was crosswalks. And before we move into crosswalks, does anybody have any comments about sidewalks or any questions? And if not, I'm going to move right into the crosswalks. So there were faded crosswalks in front of the school. You guys can see the yellow paint here. Definitely striping just so that it's higher visibility. As you can imagine, a lot of, again, elementary school students are utilizing this crosswalk, and we want them to be visible to cars. Standard and Borchardt, it was noted that it's a popular crossing location, but that there's no marked crosswalk. So people are jaywalking at this location, which is obviously very unsafe. The signal at Standard and Edinger did not allow enough time for seniors, disabled, or young children to make their way across the street. Any questions about crosswalks before we move into visibility? I'm going to move into visibility. So, so low visibility, that means for cars to see pedestrians, poses an obvious risk to pedestrians. So at this location, right at the Madison Elementary exit, there are some visibility issues there for cars being able to see pedestrians. And then there's a blind spot here near the do not enter sign. Again, as cars are pulling out, it's really difficult for them to see pedestrians who might be walking right there. A couple more low visibility issues at these crossings. The photo on the right, there's a car parked all the way up to the stop sign, which is very ticketable. So I don't know how often this car is parked there, but they did see this, and that poses a visibility for pedestrians. I'm going to move into graffiti unless there are any questions. So there was excessive amount of graffiti noted on this walk audit, and even though graffiti doesn't pose a physical risk, there's a perceived lack of safety when we see graffiti, right? A lot of us associate that with gangs and maybe some just other like not so positive behaviors. So we went ahead and took note of it. Santa Ana has a really great team who comes out and covers up graffiti. Some of this might already be covered up because they're that good about coming out and getting rid of it. I'm going to move into comfort and appeal, and again, jump in at any time if you guys have any comments. There was overgrown shrubbery at some of these locations, so that kind of narrows the sidewalk. They took some measurements. You can see like it actually spans the length of a ruler, so it's coming off the wall a full foot. It's sure you guys noted that the bus stop needs shade. There were some empty tree wells, so either cementing that dirt area or adding a tree might be a nice feature. A damaged electrical box. And then, of course, there was noting of some of the assets. So some of the pleasant things about walking in this neighborhood. There was a really nice walking path and biking path. You guys identified this as a potential location for a mural. So this is a very nice long wall around the corner from the school office. And there is potential for mural type artwork to go along this. There was the question, might a bike lane be appropriate on part here? And then lighting. The street lighting needs to be at dusk. As we're starting to see the their observation, see if there's ample street lighting as sun go down. So that wraps up the presentation. I'm just back up because the next thing I want to talk about is sort of narrowing down the focus. So like you guys to think about how you want to present these findings. You have an option to present at like a city council meeting. You have an option to invite public work out and present before them. They're the folks who are in the vest in this photo, and they're the people who, for the city of Santa Ana, are largely responsible for applying for active transportation type funding to make the improvements that are identified in this report. So two things that I want to do here tonight. I want to ask you guys, are there some slides that you think are like not big enough issues that we need to focus on? We can narrow this down a little bit. That's number one. And then number two, what do you guys want to do with this report? Do you want to take it to city council? Do you want to invite Public Works to come on your next, or not, maybe not your next call, but on one of your subsequent meetings to hear you guys present and advocate for the changes to be made? So at this time, I'm just going to kind of open it up to any brave souls who want to chime in and answer either of those questions.
Yeah, I think this is good, and I would recommend it moving to city council.
Okay. We have one in favor of city council. Anybody else?
Thank you so much for compiling all of these findings. It's really interesting because I'm just thinking back to that day. And it's like, there's so many things that maybe some people just wouldn't have noticed, and like we just all put that together. What do you think would be like the cost of inviting Public Works to present them with our findings?
Knowing the Public Works staff in the city of Santa Ana, they're really wonderful. They're really responsive. So I think that there would be a very good likelihood that they would attend any meeting you guys invited them to. So if you did it on, you know, just your regular scheduled meeting like this, and it was presented via Zoom by you guys, it won't be presented by me that time. It'll be up to you guys to present it. But of course, I'll be on the call as well. And that would give them an opportunity to kind of respond on the spot, to say like, hey, these things we can address immediately. Like we can go out and restripe those crosswalks. We can have code enforcement get out there and make sure that car is not parked there and creating a visibility issue. We can go cover up that graffiti. So some of the issues they might be able to say we'll address it immediately. And then some of the bigger things, they'll kind of explain the funding process for that, and you guys can learn a little bit more about what's involved with some of those bigger changes. So to answer your question, I think that they would totally be supportive of coming on one of these meetings and listening to you guys present, if you guys want to go that route.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm in favor of that, and only if like because I know that especially through the My Santana app, they are very responsive, especially if you report things such as the graffiti, such as those things. So I think it would be most beneficial to present those findings to them first, and only then, if we don't see any changes, then it would be a good idea to present all of this to the city council.
I love that, Nia. That's such a great idea. And I also love that you know what the app is, because you're right. You can actually, any of you guys can have that app on your phone, and in your respective neighborhoods, you can report issues like graffiti. And, you know, it's a very simple, take a photo, upload it. They get the actual GIS coordinates, and they're able to go out and address the issue. So that's so cool that you know about that. I totally agree and support what you're saying. Maybe Public Works is a starting point. We invite Zed and that crew to a meeting. We'll talk to Tim about what meeting makes sense, where they could be on the agenda. And then in the meantime, you guys could work on breaking up the presentation and deciding who wants to talk about what sections of the PowerPoint. And so then back to the PowerPoint, and the other thing I wanted to ask you guys, it's pretty lengthy right now. So it's up to you guys, but we may pare it. I might recommend paring it down a little bit, or if you think, no, hit them with anything and everything, give them all those cracks in the sidewalk, like, let's see what they can do. It's up to you guys what you want to do with that. Did any of you feel like it was like too much, too many things, or you're feeling like, hey, everything there was like an issue and everything there should be addressed?
This is Dahlia Sarmiento. So I definitely think that everything on there was like really interesting to like speak of, because there were some things I didn't really notice that much myself, like just walking down the streets, like visibility. But I think maybe we could put some of the slides together so it's not as like visually lengthy. Like we can just everything that has to do with sidewalks, like on like one slide, just maybe combining some of them. But I also agree with what Mia said about presenting it in like a meeting and not like a city council meeting.
Great. Thank you so much for that feedback. That's awesome. So I think that this is a really great starting point. I might even send the report. Tim has a copy of it, but I might send it to you guys. And if I don't know if some of you want to take the lead on paring things down, or if you decide it's great as is, just making it finalized, and then again deciding who wants to talk about which topic areas, so that when the presentation time comes, you guys know who's talking about what. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys. And I had one final question for you. There's a park very near Madison Elementary School, and there's another tool called the CPAT, and it's a park assessment tool. And that is also something that we could add to this report if there was interest from this group to meet again in person at the park and assess the park amenities. So it asks like really detailed questions about like the playground structures, the drinking fountains, the bathrooms, you know, are there courts there, like basketball courts, that type of thing. So it would assess everything about the park, and it would also allow an opportunity for you guys to bring that information to Parks and Rec and see if any enhancements are like warranted or necessary there. So I just wanted to see, again, use the raise your hand feature at the bottom and raise your hand if you'd have any interest in doing one more field assessment. So again, that would be meeting at the park for an hour, conducting the CPAT, and that would be it. Okay. Okay, awesome. So that's great. I'm gonna write down your name. So Mia, Kimberly, and Dahlia. Okay, great. So I got a few of your names, so that's fantastic. I'll follow up with Tim about when we can schedule that, and then we'll just add those slides to this PowerPoint presentation. And then again, we'll talk to him about when it would be an appropriate day to invite Public Works and Parks and Rec to this meeting, and you guys would present the findings to them. So thank you guys so much. Does anybody have any questions again about like the purpose of this, why we did it, what the outcome means? I realized I didn't even say like who we are or like where we come from, but you can see at the top of the screen, I'm with the Orange County Healthcare Agency, and within the public health services area, there's a group of us who work in injury prevention, and one of the programs focuses on safe routes to school. So it's injury prevention in the way that, you know, we're trying to make it safer for pedestrians to walk and bike. And then the other health aspect of it is we want people walking and biking because it's great exercise, and it just teaches independence, and it's just a great mode of transportation, gets more cars off the road. So it's kind of twofold. We want people moving and exercising, and we also want to keep them safe. So that's who we are. I'm joined by a few of my colleagues. You guys met, any of you who are at the walk audit met Rebecca and Julie, and then Kelly's on the call as well. So I know I jumped into the report, but that's kind of the background of how the healthcare agency is involved in this. And Julie and Rebecca, I don't know if you guys have anything to add since you guys were present at the walk audit. And if not, and if there's no questions from the commissioners, then I will turn the meeting back over to you guys. And thank you so much for your participation tonight. I'll follow up with Tim and we'll schedule the park audit.
Okay,
Thank
sounds
you
good.
for-
Thank you.
Sorry, this is Rebecca. I just want to say thank you to the Youth Commission as well. This isn't possible without you guys. You guys are the ones that live in the neighborhood. I know not all of you actually lived around Madison, but you guys are the ones that frequent this area. And so we really appreciate you guys giving up your afternoon to come and do the audit and walk the streets and to find what was positive and what could be improved. So we did have some highlights of, you know, the electric bike trail was a huge positive in that neighborhood. And so you guys pointed it out. So thank you for all your hard work in making this happen.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us. I really enjoyed that last audit, and I'm really interested in attending another one. Just overall, because I know that's a lot of one thing that a lot of residents and youth do complain about is, or complain or say that could use some work, is our parks. So it would be really great to analyze a very popular park such as Madison Park. So thank you so much. And I love the timing of this presentation too, considering it's on walkability. Today was National Walk to School Day. So I love that.
Yeah, thanks, Mia. And I just want to say that tools like the park audit tool and the walk audit, this can be replicated in your neighborhood. So, you know, you guys are seeing it in the Madison neighborhood and then going to see it at Madison Park. But I also want you guys to just like bigger picture, understand that you have the ability to replicate this in places you live and impact change that way. So you'll see Public Works is going to respond to this, and you're going to see the changes are made because of your ask. And so I just want you guys to see this as a stepping stone and a little bit of encouragement to, you know, seek out other projects that are serving your community in this way and helping make the environment safer for pedestrians and bicyclists.
Well, again, thank you so much for compiling all of this. I'm really looking forward to see how we can move forward with this, and especially presenting it to Public Works so they can get started on making all of these changes and improvements. Thank you. Is reporting secretaries is on this item?
Yes, Chairperson Bardine, that would be the only business item that we have today. The next up would be the commission comments.
All right, then. Again, thank you so much, Megan, Julie, Rebecca. Next on the agenda are commission comments. This is a time for each commissioner to provide comments if you wish, but it's not required. We will start with Commissioner Nguyen.
No comments for this meeting. I just really like the recap of the presentation since I wasn't able to go to the first time because of a conflict. I'll look at my schedule for the next one, and yeah, I think it's really important we get hands-on experience. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Nguyen. Next is Commissioner Cabrera.
Hi, I have no comments or questions this time around. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Commissioner Sarmiento.
No comments.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Vice Chair Wizar.
I also don't have any comments, but I apologize. I don't know if my mic was going off, but like my computer screen like went crazy. So I don't know if like you guys heard anything or you guys didn't, but like my computer like went off. So thank you for the presentation.
We didn't hear anything, don't worry, Commissioner Vizar. And I am last on the comments. Again, I just want to reiterate, thank you so much for the presentations. It is really like, it means a lot to know that everything that we're doing does have a purpose and does actually have some sort of change coming out of it. And again, I'd love to hear about the plan for the next audit for the park. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Is there anything else, Recording Secretary?
That would be all, Chairperson.
All right, then. If nothing else, this is the conclusion of the meeting. The next meeting will take place on Wednesday, November 2nd at 2022. November 2nd, 2022. Sorry about that. Meeting adjourned at 5:07 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.